Hey!
Hello!
What's up, amigos? It's your favorite couple coming to you with a new episode. Alright, new video, whatever.
New video of the Barnhards.
Yes. This week we wanted to talk to you about something a little different but a little more personal for us. Is Bible school.
Yes.
We both went to Bible school. We both came down to Virginia, where we're currently at, and we both went to Bible school here. So that's kind of the topic. We wanted to talk about it real quick. Basically, what Bible school is you just go to school. This was a 2-year institute. It's two-year school. Maybe there's 4-year ones out there, but it's completely centered around the Bible teachings, Bible doctrines and stuff like that. So everything's about the Bible or centered around it, and then basically it involves doing, praying and basically but
Just setting yourself apart for
Exactly.
for 2 years, just to focus on seeking God and just getting to know Him in a personal way.
yeah. So my older brother went to this Bible school years ago when I was just a little kid. And so that's how I knew about the place. But honestly, when I was a kid, we used to come down here about once a year to come visit my brother around graduation time and end of the school year. I really actually kind of hated this place. I grew up in a church that was super short services. These services were so long, and as a little kid, I couldn't hardly stand it, and it was really hard for me. But I don't know. When I got older, I don't know. The Lord started bringing me towards this place, and one time I came with my brother to visit, and just felt like God was telling me I needed to go, and I didn't do it right away. I waited, not the next school year. I waited the school year after that, so almost 2 years before I actually went. But I think when I went was the right time to go. So that's.
Why is that, Tony?
I don't know. I just say that.
Well, because if he wouldn't have gone when he went, he wouldn't have met me. So, good job.
That's not what I said at all.
Mm-hmm.
You're just
But
reading in between the lines.
Well, that's what I do best.
You always read in between my lines.
Yes.
So,
Alright.
why'd you come?
I came because I grew up in the church. I grew up serving in the church, doing worship, doing youth, and it was my dream my whole life to just be in the church and just work in the church, maybe, hopefully, and just do it full time. That's what I always wanted to do. So it was always in my heart since I was a teenager to just go to a place where I could just prepare myself to do that in the best way I could. So I was like looking for different places, like even, and I'm from Peru, and you already know that if you saw one of our first videos, but I'm from Peru, so I was looking for places around where I lived, and also my church's pastors are from the United States, so our church was always focused on the States and just Hillsong and that kind of thing, and I was always looking for churches like that, and I looked in 2 different places, and I tried to go to those 2 different places, but I felt like the Lord just closed those doors for some reason, somehow. But I ended up here in the States for a few months, like 2 or 3 months, and I stayed in a church in North Carolina with the pastors of that church, and it was really a good time for me to just focus on my relationship with the Lord, because like I said, I was serving too much, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I was just kind of burnt out, and I just came here, and it was like a refuge for me to just like relieve myself from all those things I was carrying. And that's when they took me to a youth camp in the Bible school Tony's talking about, and that's where we both ended up going. And they took me to this youth camp, and I felt so weird, first of all, because I had never been in a church like this one. But it was like the presence of God was just flowing in this place like I've never seen before. And you could see like a lot of young people kneeling down and just pouring their hearts out to God. And I was just like so impressed. I was like, I've never seen this before, and that's something that I really want and I know that I need in my life. So that's when, in that moment, I felt like I need to be in this place. Like I need to have that relationship that those people have, because I just really need that. I know that I need that in my heart. So it was very fast. Like I just knew that I wanted to have what they had and what this church had. And I talked to my pastors, the ones I was staying in North Carolina. I talked to my pastors back home, and I just decided to take that step of faith and just apply, even though I had to go back to Peru to do all the paperwork and all that. And it was a miracle, because I got all my paperwork done in 3 weeks, and that was like something that was like very impressive, because that doesn't happen very often. So I actually got here to the school year kind of late, but I made it, and all my paperwork was done in 3 weeks, and that's how I got here. And my life was completely changed. Like I can say that my relationship with God was completely taken to a whole new level while I was here. I didn't know God like I knew him, like I know him now, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, she showed up like 3 weeks late. Like,
it was not my fault.
No respect, no punctuality.
Yeah.
You should see us getting ready for church Sunday morning. She's always making us late.
Oh, whoa, what are you talking about? The Barnhart family is the one who has that in their...
It runs in our veins.
It does.
But
so
you're
it's
not
like,
helping the cause.
No, because he's influencing me. Like I was determined to influence him, but it's not working. It's just going the other way around.
Right.
No, it's not right. I don't like
right.
I don't like being late for church. It's just it's embarrassing.
If it makes you feel better, it's not just church. It's everything.
Yes, we are just late for everything, and it's just not even. All right. Well, going back to the subject.
Yeah. When I was in Bible school, okay, so we both went for 2 years. First year I went to Bible school was probably, to be honest, like the funnest year of my life. Like,
oh, that's just sweet.
I was out on my own. I was 6 hours from home.
You were only
anybody.
6 hours from home? You want to know how many hours away from home I was?
Listen. We're talking about me right now, not you. Okay? 6 hours from home.
Don't be rude.
Oh yeah. So when I came down for like the youth camp, she said I only knew like one person, and then I met a couple friends that were going to school at Blue Ridge at the time. So when I came to school, I knew a couple people, but it's like everything's brand new. But I ended up making some of my best friends, having the best times ever. And
Man, his best friend right here. All right, keep
yeah,
going.
yeah, okay. But it was really a good time. Not just, having good friends, having a good time, but like it was me kind of on my own, like going after God, and then having, meeting new friends and new people that were so good and so kind. I mean, when I came here, people treated me like they were like I was family, and I barely even knew them. Some of them I didn't know them, and I remember that stood out to me a lot. Second year was fun, but not as fun. It was much more serious, it was a lot more work. Like a second year, God really like did some things in me, and really, I think there's things that I learned in second year that are going to stick with me the rest of my life and made me better. I didn't enjoy them as much as I did first year though. It was a lot harder second year, but it was better. It made me better, and I grew a lot. And honestly, there are times where I had thought, I'm a Christian, but I'm only going to get so far. I want to be better. But second year, really, like, I became better. It just kind of happened. Like, the Lord really pressed on me and made me better. And still have a long way to go, but second year was a lot more work, but I definitely got more out of it spiritually and as a person more second year. So that's what I would say.
Well, because we're talking about
Only
years.
go for 1 year, that's what I'm trying to say. No, I'm just kidding.
No. If you really want to see like something done in your life, just go for the 2 years. Well, and depending on which school you go to though, because schools are different.
Mm-hmm.
This one has 2 years. But I would say my first year was very difficult. Both of my years were difficult in different ways. My first year was very hard because I was coming from a different country, different culture, different language, different everything. And I was just immersing myself in a whole new place with a lot of different things. And I was just getting out of listening everything or hearing everything in Spanish to just English. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is driving me nuts. I was very insecure about my English at first because I just felt like I just could not speak English. But I feel like the Lord kind of...
Funny thing is, you probably speak better English than half of Americans.
Well, not my accent, but probably grammar.
Grammar-wise, you're
Because
better
I
than
went to
half of
school
us.
for it, but I was not used to talking in English too much. But okay, so I feel like the Lord just kind of made me get out of my comfort zone a lot because I was just so used to, if something was uncomfortable for me, I would just run away from it. I was just not gonna face it, and it was that language barrier and that cultural shock, which I think that's what it is. I just had to face all of those things, and I was just alone, far away from home, nobody that I could just rely on, and it was just very hard. But I think it was in that moment when the Lord really got a hold of me, because I just didn't have anywhere else to turn but to God. And I would just run to Him because I was just like facing all of these things and all of these fears and just trying to get out of my comfort zone. And the only place I could run to was the presence of God. And it was just a year where I could just really focus on like getting deep into the Word and to just enjoying His presence. And little by little, I began to hang out more with friends from the school and just getting out of my comfort zone, like I said, and just, I don't know, I feel like it was a very challenging year for me. But then my second year was completely different because I had a lot of responsibilities. Like I was doing a few things in school. I already worked at the kitchen in the school, but I was doing the full time this year. So that meant like I had to work more hours, and then I had to do homework, and then I have different responsibilities at the school, and I was dating Tony. So it was like so many things that I had to do. And I felt like the Lord in that year, He was just stretching me so much. And I know I failed in a lot of areas. Like I know I didn't do good in a lot of the areas I was supposed to be good at, but I feel like the Lord just gave me so much grace to embrace my season of growing and just stretching. And I feel like the Lord prepared me for just being able to do so many things at the same time. And it was hard. Like Tony said, it was a hard year, but I feel like it was the year I grew the most. So definitely I'll always be thankful for my second year, because I feel like I grew. It was the hardest one, but I grew a lot. And yeah. Yes. Especially if you are not sure what to go to school for. Like if you're just done with high school and you're like, hey, I just don't really know what's next. I feel like just going to Bible school and just setting apart 2 years, or how many years you feel like the Lord is calling you to, for God, and just getting close to Him and just getting to know Him a lot more than you probably already know, because we're never gonna know Him enough. I think it's the best decision ever, because you're just preparing yourself for whatever the world may throw at you. even if you go to college or if you just go straight to work. I feel like it's a good investment of your time. What do you think?
I agree. I like I said about my first year, like coming, anytime anybody asks me this or if it gets brought up, I always say the same thing. Coming to Blue Ridge Bible College was the best decision of my life, even if I never met her. She's just icing on the cake. Like, God did so much in me in those 2 years that I can't repay that. I can't compensate God for that. He did a lot in me that I don't think would have happened otherwise. I remember right before Bible school, God really started to work on me a little bit and change me. And then it was only for a short time, and then it stopped. And then I always wondered why did it stop? Like, why was this few months like God really was just speaking to me, and I could feel I could almost feel the love of God. And then it just kind of stopped. Like, it wasn't quite the same after that. I always wondered that. And then I remember one time during worship on a Sunday morning in church, and I felt like God spoke to me and told me, I showed you, I poured out like my love. Like, I really got closer to you and got closer to you in that time, just to give you a taste of what it's like to be with me. But after he said it's a taste, but after that it stopped because I wanted you to choose it. Basically, I'm just kind of paraphrasing. Basically, I wanted you to go after it. I wanted you to choose me after that point. And it was the best decision I've ever made. And like she said, if you're not sure what to do, go to Bible school. Find a Bible school and make sure that it's a good place and go there. Take a year, take 2 years, take 3 years. And devote yourself to God and to godly principles. Yeah. You'll get in what you put out. I heard people say you'll get what you put in. You get out what you put in. Yes, you get out what you put in. That makes more sense. You get out what you put in. You get in what you put out. Whatever. You get out what you put in. You're getting something. I don't know what.
Yeah, because sometimes I do see like a lot of people just going to Bible school, and it is a good place for you to meet friends. Some people, they don't want to say it, but they go trying to find a husband or a wife, and that's all right. We understand that. That's not the reason we went to Bible school, but we understand that you can just get sidetracked. But if you go to Bible school, make sure you just invest all the time that you can into seeking the Lord, because those 2 years are gonna fly by and you're not gonna have them back. So just make sure you're putting everything you can to just really seek the Lord. Yeah. And just, it's all right if you go and just try to have some friends and just have some fun, but at the same time, just make sure you just put it in as much as you can so you can get out a lot.
Yeah. Go for a year, 2 years, just see what happens. Even if it doesn't work out quite as well as you thought, it's never a bad decision to be around a place that is teaching the Bible and people that believe the Bible. So even if it's not everything you thought it was going to be, even if it, maybe you afterwards you're like, maybe I wasn't what I was supposed to do, I don't think you'll ever regret making a decision like that for God.
Yes.
So that's just our opinion, and that's our experiences. The video is kind of long, sorry about that, but that's our video for this week.
Yes.
And I hope you guys liked it. Let us know what you think. If you have any comments, any suggestions about future videos that we should do, anything like that, feel free to comment or like or message us.
Yes.
And we'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
So awesome. We will see you guys hopefully next week, and hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Yeah. Alrighty.
Bye.
Adios.